scoring runs is vital to winning matches on Cricket 24. Doesn't matter what format of the game you're playing, you need to get those runs on the board, and I'm going to help you to do that in this video. Welcome to gaming and welcome to another Cricket 24 video. Now, disclaimer, I am not by any means the best player on Cricket 24. In fact, I'm probably one of the most average players you could watch, and if you want to watch, I do live streams every now and again here on the channel. But that doesn't mean I haven't picked up some tips over the years of playing Big Ant Studios' cricket franchise, and some of my most popular videos on this channel have been cricket batting tips and tutorials. So I'm going to share with you how I approach Cricket 24, and hopefully that will help you. And our first thing that we need to look at, or at least in my opinion, is the batting camera settings. Now, this is going to be subjective. This is going to be something that you will want to have a look at yourself and try all of the different batting camera settings. But for me, going into the settings and changing to batting mid is the best way for me to play Cricket 24. I learned this through doing the training back on Cricket 19, where the camera setting was set to batting mid, which was different to what I had been using, and I've used it ever since. It's the one where I find I can get my timing on the most accurate out of all the other camera settings. Now, this one might not be for you. As I say, try all the different ones, see what feels the best for you, and stick with that. You can change them quite easily at any time in the settings menu. You may also want to add in the transparent wicket keeper. You can also make your batter transparent if that helps you even further. Some people might say that this is kind of like an assist, but you may want to play that way and it might help you get your batting standards up. Even if just to start with you play with the batter transparent and eventually work your way towards having him back not transparent, then just try it out and see if that works for you. So let's talk basics for batting in Cricket 24. And starting off, you're going to want to position your batsman with the left stick. A little tap will move them slightly across, whereas a hold of the left stick will move them quite a distance across. As you can see there, my moving around didn't really help me out. So let's set up for this next shot with just a few minor adjustments. Again, just tapping the left stick slightly. And we are in position to hit that. Nice. So in the pro batting controls, as I say, left stick to move around, you're going to use the right stick to play the shot. And when you play it, what you want to do is use the right stick to swing in the direction that you want the ball to go. This one I'm going to try and hit straight. I was late on the shot. I find for the footwork, what you want to do is tap the left directional stick as you go to make the shot, so that tends to do your footwork. And as I say, if you can get all three in the green zone, you're looking really good for a good shot. So there I did a backwards pull shot, taking my footwork back with the left stick going back. And the other thing you can use to your advantage when playing in Cricket 24 is the sound of the ball. You can hear the bowlers run up, their stride. That can help you to determine your timing, as well as the ball hitting the ground. These things can be great cues for your timing. Figuring out the bowler that you are facing. So of course we have all kinds of different deliveries in cricket. You've got your pace bowlers, you've got your spin, two different types of spin with all the different variations of that. And then you've got your slower bowlers as well, especially on the career mode. You come up more against slower bowlers. And that's something that I struggle with when the deliveries are a lot slower. I actually find I get out more often to those deliveries than the best rated bowlers in the game that bowl at a good pace. So by saying figuring out the bowler, what I mean here is just get yourself settled into a match and figure out who you're coming up against, where they're mostly delivering the ball. They, of course, will mix it up and do different delivery types. But for the most part, you can sort of judge where they're going to be putting it, which side, what line, what length it's going to be, generally speaking. This is where using the training mode to bat against different delivery types will help you in the long run in your competitive matches. We also have to talk about the different formats of cricket for this as well. Of course, I'm saying get settled in against a bowler and figure them out, but if you're playing T20 or one of the shorter formats of cricket, you have a lot less time to get settled and need to go after those runs sooner. Whereas playing in a test match, as we all know, we can bat all day pretty much without having to really risk our wicket. So it's a judgment call for how long you want to get settled in. Obviously in T20 or shorter formats, you need to get moving a little bit quicker. That's the fun thing in shorter format cricket, I guess. One thing that helps with settling your batsmen in and making sure you get a feel for the bowlers that you're coming up against is raising the confidence bar. Now, most of your top order batsmen will come in with a higher confidence or will be able to move their confidence meter quicker to a green confidence away from a red than your tail enders. But playing good shots and making sure the batsman's not getting hit on the body, so making sure to duck out of the way, things like this, you know, if you get a bouncer, you duck out of the way, you don't get hit, and that will keep your batter's confidence up. So far in Cricket 24, I've noticed that the confidence meter actually moves more in line with how the game's going than I noticed in previous installments. Playing bad shots will lead to your confidence staying where it is or possibly dropping as well. So I recommend you figure out your shot types ahead of time. All that we're talking about here today is the Pro Control settings. If you are interested in an arcade version, then do let me know in the comments. But things like advancing down the wicket against spinners, you want to tap R3 to get the batsman playing those shots. So playing a leave or a duck is using the L3 stick pushed in. Once your confidence bar is filled and in the green zone, your batsman will be able to play more expansive shots and possibly even some of the special shots in the game. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail on those right here and how to play them, but I will be covering those in future videos specifically. So if you want to keep up to date with how to play different shot types using the pro batting controls, then do subscribe to Welcome to Gaming. And if I've helped you so far, or I do help you by the end of this video, then hit the like button to let me know that as well. So another thing we need to focus on is manipulation of the field. To manipulate the field, you want to look at where it's set up, think about how you're going to score your runs. If the field is set to minimize boundaries, then a little push shot into the inner ring can help a captain change his mind in the opposition team. So to do that, we play the shot with R1 and it tends to push the shot shorter into the inner ring. And this might make the opposition captain bring some fielders in to stop the quick singles, the doubles that you can get with that little push shot. And if you do this, then of course you open up an opportunity to then go big over the top of the inner fielders. There's lots of little ways that you can manipulate the field and to manipulate the captain into changing the field how you want. You just got to think about where you can play your shots, how you can gain your runs. I find in the shorter format of the game, so in the T20 and shorter formats than that, that it becomes very hard to score runs if you don't score quickly enough in the power play. And this is where field manipulation will come into it. Things like the ramp shot can really help you as well when a field is particularly difficult to score against. We can even have a little first-person view around the field ahead of a delivery coming in using the L2 button and moving the right analog stick around to see where the fielders are positioned. But of course, we can also see on the mini-map on the top right corner as to where the field is set to as well. Timing is probably the most crucial thing you will look at on your shot quality below. You can get away with your footwork not being the greatest as long as timing and shot choice are good or ideal. You'll usually see if you get two qualities to the right in the green zone, your footwork doesn't matter as much. But if you can get all three shining that green colour, then you're looking at some good shots in Cricket 24. But timing is the most essential because, of course, as we know as cricket fans, if you're slightly early on a pace bowl, you may be looking at an edge. If you're late, you may be looking at nicking it on. Getting in that sweet spot is exactly what we need to keep scoring runs and to not lose our wicket. Again, using the training mode is a great way to learn your timing, and of course there's different timing for different shots. So playing against a bowler that can bowl between sort of 80 and 95 mile an hour is actually relatively straightforward, I think, on the game. as long as there's not a lot of movement in the pitch, you'll soon learn that you can pick up a lot of runs against these bowlers. Spin can be a different story, and when you start playing things like sweep shots, the timing is somewhat different. You do have to go kind of like a beat earlier on a sweep shot than you would on a standard shot. Same with the ramp shot, you'll notice that the timing is very different to some of the other ones. Again, I will go into all these different shot types in their own videos, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see those broken down. Advancing down the wicket is a good one against spin as well, but this one probably is the most crucial on timing because you're dancing down the wicket, so if you miss the ball, you're going to get stumped, and it's probably the hardest one to get the timing down on. So those are my tips for batting in Cricket 24. Make sure to pick the correct camera type that you find the best to use. Be patient, figure out your bowler that you're coming up against, and make sure you know where generally his deliveries are going to be going. Get your batter's confidence up and around the green zone before playing bigger shots. Try to manipulate the field. If the field is really difficult to play against, then use different shot types to manipulate the field into a position that you want. And make sure to practice your timing on training mode and against different shot types, because the timing is slightly different against all different bowlers. The other things I haven't mentioned are things like pitch condition. Now in your career mode, that isn't going to be too varied in the beginning, but once you start playing in the different countries, in the different formats, you might see some change in the pitch, and this is another thing to take into consideration. But all round, guys, that is how I bat in Cricket 24. I hope this video has helped. If it has, do let me know in the comments, and make sure to hit that like button so I know you have been helped. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.